again.
Back again. Welcome back to another episode of Brick Talk. Today's episode is a very special episode. We have here with us Felicia Mesadieu, our very first guest, a close friend of Melton and I's, and we're very grateful for her time and for her to come on the show. Felicia, how you doing today?
I'm well. How are y'all doing?
Doing good, doing good. Yeah, we've been this is a very highly anticipated episode, and we're very looking forward to picking Felicia's brain and just learning more about her. Melton and I, we work with Felicia day to day, so we know a good bit about her. But I think for our audience, it'd be really cool to hear her story and where she's come throughout her career. And she's a fellow creative, so she has a lot to speak on some of the topics that we've talked about in the past. So yeah, just before we dive in, how's our weekend been? Good.
Um, yeah, my weekend was good. Um, Saturday was the AIGA board meeting. Had a lot of laughs. uh, People said a lot of funny things, and had some good carbs. Can't go wrong with the carbs. And then had a good ride around the town. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Saturday was a good day. Sunday was a good day. Went for a good run this morning. Had a smoothie from Central Market. Can't go
Mm.
wrong with a Central Market smoothie. And now we're doing this.
Nice. That's a great weekend so far. What about you, Mel?
You know, um, this weekend was a blur. So much happened, so much going on. I'm still unpacking it myself. Yeah, it was great. I hung out with Felicia a little bit at this AIGA thing, so that was interesting. Like always, understanding the inner workings of design and community is a daunting task to say the least. Well, we won't keep it PG on them for right now, but Brick at the Dark, we'll get into all the various different aspects of design. But to answer your question, it's been great. How about your weekend? How things going out there in the shop?
Good, man. Good. Not much going on this weekend. We also hit a run yesterday morning and pretty much slept a day away after that. But it's been good. It's been real, just peaceful. Not doing too much. No like dinner dates or nothing to attend to. So really like a laid back weekend, which is nice. So have the family come and visit next weekend. So soaking up the time now. So yeah, but cool, man. Let's jump in here. So, like I said, Melton and I, have known Felicia for a couple years now, and have been very grateful to learn about where her story and how she's ended up, to present day. So, but Felicia, to give the audience some background, would you mind just like giving us a little info on how you ended up here, right? So, how did you first become interested in design?
Well, I was always someone who felt thought of myself as a creative. I always thought of myself as a creative. I just didn't know what would be my niche.
Mm,
And I did a lot of interesting things throughout my college years. And it wasn't really until I moved to California that I decided I was going to pursue design. So I guess I'll just tell you the story that made me decide that this was what I was going to do. I had a YouTube channel and I felt like I wanted to be more creative with the content. Um, More so being like at the time like video editing. I wanted to learn motion, but I didn't really know that that was all grouped in with design. And it wasn't really until I was working a temp job in California. I was just trying to find my way out there. And then the temp agency placed me with an architecture firm that was doing a study for Netflix just to see how much space they were using. And I went into the editing bay where all the motion designers were, and I saw how they were getting down. And then that's when I realized I wanted to go back to school for design. So I did that. I think like I made that decision in 20, I think it was 2018, but then I didn't go back for design until 2020. I had like some hurdles, but 2020 is when I went back to school for design, and then um, ended up here. I'm designing
Nice.
now.
Nice. And we've spoken about this off air, but how did you get that gig with Snapchat? Do you mind kind of touching on that a little bit?
Yeah, so I was in my final year well, I only had to go back to school for 1 year because I had all of pretty much all of my prerequisites and things. All of the credits that I needed I had gotten that when I was, for my degree when I went to school for broadcast news. So I didn't really have to take too many classes. Most of my classes were just focused on design. So I had some mentors at the college that I was going to in California, and they told me that should be I should apply for this NAP Design Academy opportunity that is a partnership between LA Tech and Snapchat, and they told me that they felt like I would be a really good candidate for it. And so that was always the goal going into my first year or my first semester, because they told me about it like my first or second semester. And then the next 2 semesters, because I was there like a full year. So the next 2 semesters, I was being like prepped for it. And then that last semester, right before I was about to graduate, I got accepted into it. I applied and got accepted into it.
Nice. That's awesome. That's a, really cool opportunity, especially out on the West Coast. Like it's just very like saturated in the field, and for you to land something like that is proof of your talent and your creative ability. That's really cool. Something else that that we know about you that I think that the people need to know is you have a YouTube channel, and you've had it for a long time now, and you've recently kind of pivoted your content. So I'd like you to speak to that a little bit, just like your thought process behind that, how maybe your professional career like has kind of taken you on a path to where you've been inspired to create content surrounding that. Something that I think a lot of creators they feel very daunting on is just like creating a YouTube channel. Everybody wants to be a YouTube channel, but nobody wants to put in the work, and that's something that you've done for some time now. So how do you continue to do that? How do you continue to push out uploads? What has been your thought process behind your pivot in your content?
Yeah, so the backstory behind my channel is I started out creating content around like aesthetics, beauty, hair, natural hair. At the time, I was transitioning to natural hair. So to learn my hair was like really important to me. So that's what I started doing when I first started. And I've always somehow created content, whether it have been like in the format of a blog or video format. And so it was like an easy pivot from blogging to move into video, video YouTube. So I did that for like 6 or 7 years. And then my first YouTube video was in July of like 2011 or 2012. So I did that for several years. And then I moved to Houston. And that was when I stopped doing YouTube for like a year because I was just trying to figure out my life. And I was starting to absorb a lot more design content because I was trying to learn how to design.
Hmm.
But I started seeing the content creators who were having fun with it. Like they would make you would have to create a logo in like 15 minutes, and it'd be like 10 logos. And I really started to, it made me think about what it would look like to pivot over to design, but I wasn't ready to fully make the jump. And then I toyed around with the idea, but I never fully committed. And honestly, it wasn't really until I met Melton where Melton was like, I think that that's something that you should fully pursue, but I was still kind of nervous. And then it was the lack of opportunities that I was getting within my career, my current position, that I felt like I needed to put my creative energy elsewhere. And that is when, because I felt like I wasn't really learning on the job, so I felt like I needed to learn somewhere else. And I decided to um, really start pursuing creating content around design. And that's when I made the pivot. And then I just started having more fun. And then I realized that I was like I was going to make the pivot to design fully. And now my channel is focused on design, life, and the journey of leveling up as a designer. Thanks, Melton. Thanks for
Yeah.
that suggestion.
Yes, yes. I'm glad it's now recorded on record. So that's great. That's great. I'm glad my influence.
That's actually really cool to know, that Melton was there for you, and recommended you take that step. So, Melton, what did you see in Felicia? What did you see? Did you just know that she was ready for it, or what was your, I guess, what did that conversation look like, right? Like, how did you help her take that leap?
Well, for me, my one of my mantras in life is creativity is the precursor to abundance. You know, um, as designers, design is about problem solving, and through solving a problem of money, opportunities, self-esteem, whatever you need from design, you can get it if you apply yourself. So what I saw was a creative who had success before in the YouTube space, but also, most of these YouTube types, they're not like they're I don't want to call them fake, but they almost seem like so far away, like there's a separation. And I thought Felicia, if she focused on uh, design content, it would be more relatable and it would be inspirational to other people. Besides, from the simple fact that the best way to learn something is to teach someone something. So, and I think that has worked out a lot. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking with that.
Nice. Yeah, and that follows, right in sync with the whole building in public thing that we hold close here. And that I think that Felicia, like, to your credit, you've done so well is because, like, you are, like, with your, product design aspirations and all that, like, taking on these challenges, these projects, you're recording yourself doing it, and you're creating content around those projects and then pushing it out for the mass audience to consume. It's like you are building in public. You're learning as you're doing. You're thinking about how to do this task, and then you're unveiling that process for others to learn via your content. So it's pretty cool. Like, you're learning on the go, very transparent, building in public. I think that's super cool. What has been, like, the biggest challenge for you, for that? Like, you know, and this could go even further back with your YouTube, like when you were doing different kind of content, right? You're on camera, right? So you have to show the world parts of your life, some of which on the vlog type content could be some of, maybe some footage that you may feel like you want to hold close to yourself. And then on the design side, it's like, you're screen recording your canvases. Like, some of them you may feel a little insecure to show, or some steps of the process that you may feel like, um, that doesn't fit your audience base or whatever it may be, right? So how do you overcome that challenge of being like, no, this is part of it, I need to push it out?
I've always loved a journey on
Mm,
when a content creator. Like, the most important thing for me is to see how you evolved in your career, in your life, whatever it is, that whatever niche you have, like, I need to see the evolution. And so I feel like the content creators who are always the most relatable are the people who are transparent about the journey. So that was why I leaned more into the journey. I've always been a journey person. I've always documented my journey, whether it had been my hair or like trying to figure out how I was gonna create a life for myself in California, and then coming to Houston and trying to figure out how I was going to figure out like my finances. And then I like easily pivoted into design though, because, you know, I'm a designer. So for me, sharing the journey is extremely important. And I think that's what makes a person relatable. While I don't know everything, I think that's the beauty of the journey.
Mm.
And I think it's important to share with people who are looking at you that you don't know everything, and it is okay if they don't know everything, but you're going to figure it out. And then finally, when you do have the answer, or you're an expert in the field, most people binge watch your content, so they'll go back and see, oh, she did struggle there. But
Mm.
it's like, in order for you to resonate with someone, you have to show them that you've made mistakes, and you have to show them that you're not perfect. So I think the journey is a very important piece as a content creator.
Wow. Yeah, that was a perfect answer. The journey, you know, and able to resonate with your consumer base or with your audience, you have to show them your flaws and you know your bullshit and you know errors, mistakes. No, that's perfectly said. So, you know, focusing on the design piece here and more of like just being a creative. What would you say your process is like? So let's try to be more specific here. Like, you know, on your recent product design stuff, UI UX, what's your process look like from, you know, do you start paper and pencil and then you go to Figma, Illustrator, Photoshop? Like, what's that process look like for you?
Um. Okay, so I I'm more of a mood boarder when it comes to like designing graphics, but with
Mm,
UX, my process is more um okay, what's my process? It's still kind of new. So what's my process with UX? I think I still mood board. I do a lot of like looking at what um my mood board process isn't as intense as it would be if I was like trying to create a logo or design like a poster or something like that. I think more so with UX, I look at what I've already done, and I look at what other designers are doing in the space. So I look at a lot of Dribble, I look at a lot of Behance, I watch a lot of YouTube content.
hmm.
Then I'll see what's happening there, and then that's when I'll create when I'm doing like different UX methods and stuff like that. Because
Nice.
it's the thinking is very different. It's not as um, I don't want to say it's not as creative. So you really have to push yourself to be creative and still get out the information and make it like simplified.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I understand. And I do think I accidentally like may have put some boundaries on what your answer could be when I say, you know, for a UI UX project specifically. I think like, you know, whatever your creative output will be, that kind of, you know, you can have some overlay or, you know, based on like your creative process. If you're designing a logo or you're designing a billboard, some of those steps will be the same. However, I understand that like if it's a logo or a UI UX project, that process may look a little differently. So no, that's cool. So throughout that process, you know, you know, you got a lot of shit going on, right? You got a 9 to 5, you have other, you know, side hustles that you do, your YouTube page, like you got a bunch of pieces in your life. You know, how do you stay on top of everything? Like, how do you, you know, something that we've talked about past on Melton and I on the show is just like applications, thought processes, just like staying productive is a big piece if you just want to keep evolving and want to keep moving. What's your favorite productivity hack? Your personal favorite productivity hack?
Probably planning it out the week or planning out the week like on a Sunday. I'm really big on that. But here goes that transparency part again. I'm not on top of everything.
Mm,
And
I love it.
so
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm not on top of everything. I think like every week I like might miss something that I wanted to do. A couple of things actually. I just try to fit things in when I can. But I recently I started so I'm a part of a it's not a group chat, but it's like a Slack channel with Snap SDA, Snap Design Academy. And there is like this, it's not a mastermind group, but if you want to think about it like that, and every Sunday or every Monday, someone will post in it's not a mastermind, it's just like it's a chat and they post like what their goals are, and then you update them the next Monday. I just started doing that, and I've actually found that that has made me even more productive than when I would just write things down in my planner. But for the longest, I was using, well, I would say within the last year and a half, I was using a planner called the Full Focus Planner. It gets expensive, so another suggestion of Melton's. But it's like $50 for a new journal. So you either need to be like on a subscription to get it, or you need to have that $50 every quarter. And sometimes I'm like, oh damn, I didn't budget for the planner. So I've had the plan. I have like over 6 planners at this point, but now I have a new planner that's similar to it, where you can plan for the quarter, and that's helped. Um, but yeah, I think that's like my hack is my planner. I have a Notion. Notion is not my favorite, but I
Mhm.
do have a Notion, and I also have been using my notes on my Mac.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm kind of the same way. Melton and I have spoken about this. Like, I like Notion, but I'll always have like a little like ruled notebook next to me. What about you, Mel? You like to do pen and paper?
Oh yeah, yeah. I got a couple notebooks for various different. It's kind of funny. I like want to simplify things by personally doing Apple Notes. But when it comes to writing, I still kind of separate things a little bit. So I have
Mm.
like three notebooks now for various different things. But yeah, yeah, that's all interesting. What do we say? What would you say is how you balance physical and your mental health?
How do I balance physical and mental
Yeah,
wellness?
yeah.
Um, So I do like to work out often. Well, I have a routine in the morning. So mental in the morning, I have like my morning devotional. I'll pray, and then I'll just kind of like relax for a little bit, and if it's time for me to work out, then I'll go work out. But these last few weeks, I've had some injuries, so I have not worked out. But usually, I'll try to like balance life with mental wellness and physical wellness by working out and always having a devotional in them, or trying to most times at large having a devotional and prayer time in the morning.
Okay, but tell your real workout regimen.
To my real workout regimen,
Yes.
my real workout regimen. I mean, sometimes I could be psycho about working out if that's what you're trying to say. I okay, so cycling is Tuesday, and I cycle Tuesdays. I cycle Thursdays. I Y'all are funny. Okay, so I'm hesitant to say this because I sometimes might miss a workout, or also these last 2 weeks have been off for me. But regularly, not counting these last two and like a half weeks, my workout schedule is as is. Sunday I run. Monday I will possibly run, or I might work out at night. And if I work out at night, then it's a like it's a leg class, a leg strengthening class. It's actually called kettle booty. We focus on the booty with a kettlebell. And then Tuesday I cycle. Wednesday I box at 11 a.m. Um, and if I'm feeling froggy, then I will also do a kettlebell class that night. Thursday is the crazy day. Thursday, I do strength training in the morning for arms, and then I'll cycle, and then I'll go. So that's starting at 5:30, and then I'll cycle at 6:30 a.m. And then both of those both of those classes are 45 minutes, and then I'll come back home, shower, eat, work, and then I'll get off, and then I'll go box at 5:30 p.m. And then if I'm feeling froggy, I will take another cycling class. So like it'll be like a 3 to 4 classes on Thursdays. That's my heavy class. And that's on if we don't have like an AIGA event. And then Wednesdays also, it depends. Wednesday could also be a cycling day, but I just started boxing on Wednesdays. And then Friday I will do cycling in the morning, and then Saturday I will cycle at 8:15 a.m. and then I'll box at 10:30 a.m. That's a good week though. That's a good week.
That's crazy. I'm sure there's somebody listening to this on their way to work, like, damn, I need to go to the gym more. uh, no, that's really cool. And to follow up Melton's question real quick, as a creative, do you feel like you know the residuals from your workouts, like mentally, like in your last couple weeks, like you said, you're dealing with some injuries and some bullshit, right? Have you
Mhm.
felt that effect, like when you don't meet your workouts, do you feel
Mhm.
it mentally?
I definitely do. I feel like I can't get focused.
Mm,
So like when I don't work out, I eat crappy, and when I eat crappy, I feel like mentally I can't focus. But when I'm working out, I'm on schedule, I want to eat better, and then like I'm more productive, I can focus, and life's great. But when I'm off balance in that way, like when I'm like out of alignment when it comes to working out, I do feel like my design work suffers. Like I was on a roll the last few weeks with like my projects with my UX course. I was on a roll. I was getting like 2 exercises done, or like methods, which are exercises, but I was getting like methods done. I was updating my UX case study, and then like I had those 2 injuries. I was like out, and then this week I missed. I didn't work out hardly this week. I mean, I ran, right? That was it. Ran. But it's just been like my case studies haven't gotten done. And then last week I only got one thing done. I mean, my case study is getting done, but I only got one of my UX methods done last week. And then this week I didn't get a UX method done. But I had a hip injury this week from taking
mm.
yoga last Saturday. It was the way, I mean, sorry to go into this. I know you're probably not going to include this, but I had a hip injury. I had did a yoga move that I never do. And the yoga instructor said that you're going to feel it, but she didn't say that it would like be like a sprain in the hip. So I was so uncomfortable I was like waking up in pain that I didn't feel comfortable working out on it. So all I've done this week has been like hip mobility exercises, hip and lower back mobility exercises. And then I recently just ran yesterday. Not yesterday, today, sorry.
Nice. Got you. Cool.
What would you say is your experience networking in a new city in the design scene? How has that affected you? Things you learned, just different things. How do you feel about your experience so far?
Coming into a new design scene.
Oh well, just a new city. You're new to
Oh,
design. What's been your
yes.
experience?
So when I was living in California, I my mentors, the professors, they were all they worked in like they had backgrounds in the entertainment industry. And so I thought that was going to be my niche. Like I was just like, okay, so I'm going to design in the entertainment industry. Well, I shouldn't say my niche, but that was the area I was going to go into. And I was so prepared to be done with design school and then just move straight, like have a connection from one of my mentors, and I was going to be in entertainment, designing and entertainment. But then like I moved during the pandemic and it was very abrupt. I didn't expect that I would be moving from California to Houston. I just had like some family issues that brought me to Houston. And then I was thinking to myself, okay, what the hell is in Houston? Like I wasn't prepared for this. I don't know what's over there. And one of my friends who is another creative, he works in the film industry. He's like a director. He he had lived in Houston for a little bit, and he told me, I said, are there even any creatives over there? Like, what am I going to do when I go over there? And then he said, no, there should be some creatives over there. So I was just like, okay. So I get here, I'm doing everything online, finishing out my design school online. And so I didn't really have the opportunity to get out and meet anybody. And it was during the pandemic. Well, so I was still like a little bit worried about that, and I didn't know what I knew. I heard of AIGA when I was in California, but I wasn't fully aware of the benefits of it.
Mm.
I ended up meeting a creative, another designer, but she was I ended up meeting another designer and at a coffee shop, and then I met another designer, and those were like just the two designers that I knew. I didn't know anybody else. It wasn't really until I met you two that I realized, okay, there are more designers in the city, obviously, and then I meeting Melton, he opened up a world to like more design opportunities, but then seeing what design could be if you go like 100% in, if you really put yourself out there. And he, I think he really like pushed me to take design more seriously. Not that I wasn't serious. I was serious about design, but I was being lazy with design, I think. And I think that was just based off of feeling hopeless because of my circumstances of what was going on in my career at the time. But then he like showed me that you have to like be very serious about the craft, and you have to put 100% into the craft. And then that was when he joined AIGA, and I started going to more of the events that he was putting on for AIGA. And then that's when I realized that there is a whole design world out there that I wasn't privy to, and that you have to really be proactive when it comes to your design career and meeting new people, and exposing yourself to more. So I do give a lot of credit to Melton because I just don't think that I had met anybody who was that on fire for the craft of design at the time that motivated me to really step it up and really take design seriously.
Nice. Yeah, we both appreciate Melton for that, and I know, ever since met Melton, he's been big on, um, just Houston, like being proud about the Houston area and the creatives in the Houston space. I think that um, he's always just been, conscious of the importance of building a network and really that foundation and how important that is to creatives and having a community based around just opportunities and stuff. It's really cool to hear that his impact has done something for you. That's really cool.
Let's pause for a sec.
Yeah, yeah.
Camera on me. As you see, audience, my influences, it runs deep in the streets. This. You know, I like to take a moment to for anyone out there listening, hit me up. I can also be an influence in whatever you do, not just design. If you're a plumber, you're a baker, whatever you're doing, I can assist you, motivate you. That's my new name. It's Coach Melton. His office is now Brick Talk with Coach Melton Bell III. So, but I'll leave it there. No, I think we can wrap it up. We can get
Okay.
to some rapid fire questions.
Let's do it.
And yeah,
Let's go back and forth, me and you. Yeah. I'll lead
okay,
off. All
cool.
right, Felicia. Rapid fire. Quick on your toes here. Okay.
Hmm.
Let's do it. Your favorite book.
Oh my gosh. I oh my gosh. I can't think of my favorite book. I
Everyday,
can't
the
think.
everyday small things. The Don Norman book. Isn't that it?
Okay, favorite book. I I don't think I have a favorite book. Honestly, I don't think I have
That's
one.
cool. That's cool.
Okay, what's your favorite song right now you're listening to?
Favorite song. Probably K Tronada new album, and I would have to go with Don Richards. Oh my God, what's the song? What's the song? What's the song?
The song is called Hold On. I'll help you out there.
Hold on, Don Richards.
Yes.
Hold on.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great album. Okay. Uh, Favorite hobby outside of work. I think you touched on
Boxing.
this, but there you go.
Okay, what would you say is a piece of advice for the audience?
Um, I would say share the journey.
Perfect.
Okay.
It doesn't even
Um,
have to be content. That could just be like, just share your truth, share your journey with people.
Love that. All right. Most used app on your phone.
YouTube.
Nice. Oh,
Okay. Your favorite item in your home or space, creative item.
My laptop.
yeah. It's
Okay.
quite the tool.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
All right. All right. Let's see here. All right. So you got one meal for the rest of your life. What's that meal?
Um, oh, one meal for the rest of my life. It's probably it's gonna be Chinese, and it's beef with broccoli. No. It's Thai food,
Mm,
and it's a combination Thai fried rice and with uh, cheese wontons. Hmm.
Pretty good.
If you could wait, did you ask this, Braden? If you could travel anywhere tomorrow, where would you go?
I would go Haiti.
Okay.
Um, Sorry, making sure we have an S. Last thing you do before you go to sleep. First thing you do when you wake up.
Watch YouTube first thing when I wake up. Say thank you God for waking me up this morning.
Perfect. Uh,
I think that's all of them.
yeah, I think that's it. Uh, I think a memorable quote. Do you have any like quotes that you hold dear that you reference often?
The only thing certain is in this lifetime are death and taxes. Thomas Jefferson said that.
Wow. Okay. Nice. All right. Cool. Well, yeah.
You
Thank
guys
you.
are supposed to say best gift you've
Oh,
received.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Best gift you've received.
Flowers.
Oh, classic. Nice. Um, Cool. I think that's all of them.
Mhm.
We appreciate you, Felicia. This has been a great episode. You know how much you mean to both Melton and I, and for you to be the first guest on the show it means a lot. You know, we know that you're an OG member of the builder department. So this has been great. One last question for you before we get out of here. What's next for Felicia Mesadieu? What's on your board? What's on your radar? Give us like a bucket list. You know, something you want to knock off your bucket list for 2025.
Something I want to knock off my bucket list for 2024 or 2025.
Let's do 2025 because we're getting down to the end of the year. So what's on your radar for going into next year?
So I would definitely want to be recognized as an authority in UX UI as a content creator. And I would love to be in the next phase of my career as a UX designer. That is what I'm looking forward to for 2025. And I want
Nice.
to do more. I'm sorry, this is like really important to me. While I am focusing on UX design, I still want to have fun with like doing a lot more like surface pattern design and graphics. So that's something that content that I want to create. Start to create more content like that on my channel.
Nice. That's great. Well, be on the lookout for those listening, and we'll make sure you want to like plug anything you want right now, and we'll be sure to obviously put your channel in the description, and we'll throw up like throughout the clip. We'll put clips from your YouTube, obviously with your permission, and your Instagram. Just plug anything you want right now.
Yeah, so you guys can subscribe to my channel, Felicia Mesadieu, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, also Felicia Mesadieu.
Nice.
You
Great.
guys, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. All right. Well. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, we appreciate everyone for stopping by on this fine Wednesday morning, and thank y'all for listening and staying this far into the episode. Again, we appreciate you, Felicia, for coming on, and we hope this is the first of many guest episodes. So, yeah, till next week.
Peace.